Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to What's the Real Rating, where I give you the lowdown of what actually is good, in my opinion. So today I want to talk to you about the video game Dusk. Dusk is a 90s styled shooter with chunky, well, that looks like a chunky DOS game, and chunky DOS games are great. Now, that being said, does it play like things like Doom and Quake? No, it plays much more tight, and it even though it looks like it evokes the feeling of older school shooters, the actual movement and combat is much more fluid and less choppy than its predecessors. Now, as far as the actual combat itself, it is excelente. You can do certain weapons can be you can wield one in each hand, and that is very, very fun. You also have the ability to there's everything. Some of the weapons have their own unique properties. The crossbow is fairly interesting because it allows you to not only have weapon piercing, I mean you can pierce through enemies, but it also can allow you to sort of rocket hop a little bit. If you're up in the air, kind of like it pushes, like when you shoot it, it pushes you back. So if you're in the air, you can, if you jump and shoot it repeatedly, you can kind of like change your trajectory while you're falling or flying. Each level is wholly unique and only gets more and more visually impressive and interesting as time goes on. And while the end boss is rather, expected, and I was expecting like someone a little more interesting in a way, at the same time though, it was kind of like an Eldritch God makes sense, That being said, I feel like, just with the Lovecraftian like lore, it was actually interesting seeing that it kind of like took a more like Lovecraftian stint towards the end, even though like this entire time it was more like evocative of country Christian imagery. So either way, the game Dusk is a masterpiece of an indie game. I think it's very, very fun. If you liked Doom, if you liked Quake, if you liked Duke Nukem, you will like Dusk. Now, Dusk certainly feels more like a Doom, where it's more about like the combat and getting through the level, when Duke Nukem was like also like about dicking around a little bit, which is interesting in its own right. But even so, it's at the end of the day, Dusk it's like $20 on Steam. They have multiplayer with official servers with dedicated servers that are populated, and the game is just a ton of fun. And I highly suggest you going to go play it. It's definitely worth your time. As far as a rating goes, I would give Dusk a Quake out of Doom. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.